Hey guys, here's another quick 10 to 15 minute class. I promise I'm going to keep it in that time range. And today's class is focusing all on stretching out your shoulders and your wrists. Now I know I already have a 30-minute class posted for the same exact reason. However, I know that sometimes you don't have 30 minutes in your day to get on your mat and roll around and stretch out because of life. And I get that. And so that's why I decided to make this quick little flow so that way you would still have the opportunity to move through a guided little practice and get a stretch in if all you had was those 10 to 15 minutes. Now you'll see here I have 2 books. I do not have blocks at home because I am just like, I'm going to use books instead and not buy blocks. So click pause here and go grab 2 blocks or 2 books that are the same width. The same level of thickness, because we are going to use them today. We're going to use blocks or books, whatever you have in our practice. And if you would rather not, click pause, because that's just going to add extra time here to your practice that you don't have, then you don't need to use them. We're just going to use them for a deeper stretch and puppy pose, okay? So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get started. And as with all my 10 to 15 minute classes, we're not going to take a whole heck of a lot of time to ground out at the beginning, and we're not going to take any time for Shavasana at the end. So if you have time in your day to take Shavasana, I highly, highly encourage you to do that and to take time for yourself in that very restorative, restful pose. But go ahead, come into a nice, comfortable seated position here, closing your eyes, growing that crown of your head up towards the sky. Palms facing down on your knees for grounding energy, palms face up towards the sky for receiving energy, and just begin to lengthen out your inhales and your exhales here. Beginning to let your thoughts drift away from your day and from that to-do list. Let your mind come here to the present and to your mat. Focusing on your body and your breath. Forgetting about that to-do list and anything that happened before class or that didn't happen right now before you got onto your mat. And anything that may or may not happen later on. Go ahead, inhale, put your hands all the way up towards that sky. As you exhale, press your palms up towards the sky as you interlace your fingertips. Or interlace your fingertips and then press your palms up towards the sky. Keeping your eyes closed here. Actively reach your hands up high. Taking a big breath in as you exhale, hinge forward. Forward fold here. Keeping your hands interlaced, thumbs rest down the mat as you fold closer towards that earth. And take a big breath in as you exhale, rise back up. Inhale, and as you exhale, lower your arms down directly out in front of you so they're about chest level. Still pressing your palms forward. Let's take a breath in as you exhale, lift your hands up. Inhale, palms fall forward. Exhale, lift your hands up. Then take a big breath in as you exhale, bring your hands down to your lower back, interlace them, press your knuckles down towards the mat. Yoga Mudra. Taking a breath in as you exhale, hinge forward from your hips here, just like you do in a humble warrior, but you're just seated here on the floor. And then inhale, and as you exhale, rise back up. Repress your palms together, press your knuckles an inch or 2 closer down towards the mat as you broaden your collarbones and your gaze shifts up, hugging your belly button up and in. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, release your grip. Inhale, hands float up. As you exhale, pull your hands down to your heart space. And inhale, hands float up. As you exhale, interlace your palms, press them up towards the sky. Take a big breath in. Exhale, hands come down to your sides. And then inhale, hands go all the way up towards the sky. As you exhale, pull your hands down to your heart space. And then interlace your fingers. Press your knuckles down towards the mat, pressing your palms down towards the mat, lowering your hands down, and inhale, lift your hands all the way up towards the sky. Exhale, bring your hands back down to your heart space. Let's do that again. Take a breath in, interlacing your fingers. As you exhale, press your palms down towards the mat. Inhale, reach your arms all the way up towards the sky. As you exhale, release your hands down. And then go ahead, change out the crisscrossing of your legs here. If you're in crisscross applesauce, if you're seated on your knees, maybe you slide a bolster or a block underneath there for a little extra support. If you took any sort of hip opening posture, any other seated posture, just make sure if it involves switching out your legs, switch out your legs here. And then go ahead, inhale, reach your hands all the way up towards the sky. As you exhale, take your right hand to your left wrist. Inhale, look up, gaze up. And then tilt down and over towards the right here. Now you may be wondering, why are we doing a side bend if we're working on our shoulders and stretching out our shoulders here? This little bit of tugging, this little bit of pulling on our left arm right now is adding traction, and it's helping stretch out that joint. And that joint being our left shoulder. Let's take a big breath in as you exhale, rise back up. Change out your grip, left hand comes to right wrist. Inhale, look up, gaze up, and as you exhale, tilt over towards the left. Adding that little bit of traction on that joint here. Both hips stay glued down towards the mat. Not focusing on going super deep in this stretch, but focusing on adding that traction. Take a breath in as you exhale, rise back up. And then inhale, and as you exhale, reach your hands up towards the sky. Take a big breath, and as you exhale, hinge down over towards the right, planting your right hand down the mat, reaching your left hand up towards the sky, and then taking your left hand down and around so it comes to rest behind your head and comes to cradle your neck and head. And then gently shift your gaze up towards the sky, adding a little extra pressure, a little bit extra weight into that left hand. Good. And this little extra pressure, that little extra weight, adds a deeper stretch to that shoulder. Right hand can stay down the mat, right forearm lifted, or right forearm and right elbow can come down towards the mat here to take a deeper side body stretch. And let's take a big breath. And as you exhale, slowly come all the way back up. Inhaling, both hands go high. Exhale, tilt down over towards the left, reaching that right hand up before it comes to the back of your head and neck. Adding that little bit of weight there. Gazing up towards the sky. It's like a hammock. Again, left elbow can come down to the mat if you wish. Take a big breath in as you exhale, slowly come back up to midline. Inhale, both hands reach up. And as you exhale, wrap your arms around you. Like you're giving yourself a hug. Tuck your chin towards your chest here. One elbow rests on top of the other. And go ahead, take a big breath in as you exhale, release. Inhaling, hands go all the way up towards the sky. As you exhale, give yourself a second hug. Opposite arm on top this time. So last time my right arm was on top. So this time my left arm is on top. Tuck your chin towards your chest. Go ahead, inhale, and as you exhale, slowly unwind. Inhale, reach your hands all the way up towards that sky. And as you exhale, rock forward, coming into your tabletop position. Elbows, wrists, and shoulders stacking one on top of the other here. Knees stacking directly underneath your hips. And then go ahead. Let's go ahead and just get those wrists stretched out. Let's point all five of our left fingertips out towards the long edge of our mat, left long edge. All five of our right fingertips go out over towards the right long edge of our mat. And begin to rock side to side here. And then eventually, with time, rock over to the right and hold here. Leaning to the right, however you like to think of it. Let's take a breath, and as you exhale, come back to midline. Taking a big inhale and exhale, rock over to the left. Leaning to the left. Just getting that nice stretch there in that left wrist. And then take a big breath, and as you exhale, rock back to midline. And then let's take all five of our fingertips towards, or 10 of our fingertips towards the front of the mat. Taking thread the needle here. Inhale, reach your right hand up. As you exhale, bend into your left elbow. Take your right arm long on and over towards the left here. Keeping your left hand glued down onto that mat. Maybe you tuck and tent those left fingertips. Or maybe you reach that left arm up and around for the sky. And then reach your left hand down and over for your right hip crease. Keeping your belly button hugged up and in. Knees stay in line here. Simply breathing. Big breath, and as you exhale, plant your left hand down the mat. And inhale, reach your right hand all the way up towards the sky before it comes down to the earth. And then inhale, lift your left hand up high, and as you exhale, bend into your right elbow, taking your left arm long on the mat. Left ear comes to rest. Good. And right fingertips can tent or stay flat. And then maybe you take your right arm up and around for your left hip crease here. Maybe you smile. Maybe you rest. I'm going to take a big breath as you exhale, plant your right hand down, inhale, lift your left hand up before it comes down to the mat. And from here, we're going to use those blocks of ours, those books, whatever you have. If you have blocks, set them on whatever setting you want to set them on. So the low, the medium, the high. If you have books, just plant either the front cover of your book or the back cover of your book flat down the mat. And we're going to take puppy pose. So what you can do is you can do one of two things. You can take your books out as far as you think your hands are going to be in your puppy pose. Or what you can do is you can take your hands underneath your blocks or your books and begin to slide them forward on your mat, putting your hips directly above your heels until you come out into your puppy pose. Or the third way, which is what I'm going to do, is I'm going to take my books wide out to the side of my mat here. I'm going to walk my hands out in front of me, drape my chest down, and then pick up the book, slide it underneath one hand, pick up a book, slide it underneath my other hand, and take my forehead or my chin down to the mat. Coming into my variation of puppy pose. Taking this deeper shoulder stretch, trying to keep my forearms off the ground here. Or maybe they melt. Whatever you wish to do. Whatever is more stretching for your body. I'm going to take a big breath in as you exhale, slowly begin to come out of your puppy pose. Coming back to your hands and knees. Let's take our blocks a little bit closer to our body here. Now let's bring our hips down onto our heels. And from here, we're going to come into child's pose with a shoulder stretch. And for our shoulder stretch, we're going to take our hands into the center of our backs. So you can do one or two ways. You can come down to child's pose, take the blocks down where your elbows are, your books, place them underneath your elbows and then bend your elbows. Or you can bring your blocks where you think your elbows will be. If you're coming with me, we'll take our hands up towards the sky, glue our hands together, bend our elbows, bring our thumbs into the center of our back. Take a breath in as you exhale, hinge forward here. Coming into your child's pose. Adjusting the blocks as you need once you get down to the mat. And again, just taking a deeper shoulder stretch here. If you have blocks, again, rest your blocks on any setting. Elbows still resting on your books or your blocks here. So the point, or the final destination for this child's pose is to be in child's pose, elbows resting on blocks, elbows bent with your hands in prayer, with your thumbs in the center of your back here. Just go take a breath in, and as you exhale, release your arms long out in front of you. Either keeping your elbows and triceps resting on the blocks, or maybe you scoot your hands to the blocks, remove them, and just land in your final child's pose here. Knees together or knees as far apart as you wish them to be. As you simply melt down into your mat here. Staying here in this child's pose for as long as you like, as long as you want and need to, or for as long as your day allows. Because this is where I leave you. As always, it was an honor to teach. It was an honor to practice alongside you. I hope you enjoyed today's class and helped you get some of the kinks out of your wrists and your shoulders. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. Namaste.